guys, it's your girl Tayance and we're back with another video. So today we're going to be doing a complete wig tutorial, install, whatever. I'm going to be showing you guys how to install this wig that I have on. Let me just rep my brand real quick. This wig is from my brand and so are these lashes. So make sure you guys go shop with me. I'll put my brand or my Instagram or whatever right here. So yeah, I'm going to be showing you guys everything, how I put this on. There's a couple steps I skipped, but they're tiny steps. So hope you guys enjoy this video and let's get right to it. Alright, so first things first, let's bleach those knots. So today I'm going to be using a packet of BW2 bleach and a 50 volume developer. So when you're bleaching your knots, you want to make sure your consistency is kind of like a pudding texture or something even a little bit more thick. You don't want the consistency to be too runny because if it is, it'll go right through the lace and you'll have over bleached knots just like that. So make sure when you're doing it, it's better to use smaller amounts of developer first, and then if you need more, go back in and add a little bit more. So as you can see, I'm just going all over the lace with the bleach. I'm not tapping it in too heavy. I'm actually using a very light hand to do this because I don't want it to go through the lace and onto the actual hair. So after I'm done putting it all over the lace, I'm going to let it sit for about 45 minutes. But I'm checking continuously to make sure I'm not over bleaching. So now to pluck, I'm not going to pluck too heavy because my hair does come a little bit pre-plucked. And I like a more full hairline. I don't like when the hairline is too thin, if that makes sense. So I'm just going in section by section and I'm just parting out the space I need and then plucking it out to my liking. It might look a little thick here, but trust me guys, when I put it on, it's gonna look very natural. With plucking though, one tip is never stay in the same spot for more like a long time. If you do, it's really easy to get a bald spot or a really thin area, so always try to keep like moving. You know, you never want to go back or stay in the same spot for too long. Alright, so after I finish up plucking, I'm going to go ahead and put my bald cap on. I did that off camera. And to tint my lace, I used the Ebin tinted lace spray to make the lace match my skin tone. And as you guys can see, I cut 3 slits in the lace. This just makes it easier to cut the lace once you apply it, or when you're cutting it on your head, it's easier to go in smaller sections. So now I'm just going in and making sure it fits me right. And don't be afraid to go back and fix your bald cap. I hate when the bald cap shows through the lace, like you can see somebody's under there, so I felt that I could see mine, so I'm just going to go in and cut a little bit more of the excess cap off. So now I'm going to take my eyebrow razor and cut right along the hairline. I found that cutting the lace before you install it gives it more of a natural finish because, especially if you're a beginner, if you don't put the glue in the right spot, or if you put the lace a little bit in front of the glue or behind the glue, you'll have excess lace that you don't want. And when you're applying a wig, you want as little lace to be showing, like you want it just to give scalp, okay? And you don't want all that extra lace on your forehead. So I found that when I cut my lace off before I glue it down to get as close as the hairline as I can, it helps to give a more of a natural scalpy finish. Another tip for when you're cutting your lace off your wig is to always cut in a jagged line. You never want just a sharp straight line because it's harder to blend that way, and like you'll just see it easier, rather than if it's a jagged line, it gives it more of a natural finish because you can't really tell like where that harsh line is from where the lace is. Okay, let's just take a minute and look at this lace because, y'all, this wasn't even glued down yet. Like, what? So once I'm done cutting the lace, I'm just going to take like an eyebrow pencil. I believe this is from NYX or something. I don't remember. But I'm just going to put the lace right where I want it to be. Then I'm going to mark it where I don't want the glue to go past. So this is just going to be an outline for my glue. Also, I didn't show it, but before you put your glue down, make sure that you clean your forehead off from any makeup or bacteria that's on it with rubbing alcohol. You can take just a cotton ball or anything and just wipe it across your forehead where the glue is going to be. This also helps the glue last longer. So this is going to be my first layer of glue. I'm going to use a total of 4 in this video, and I'm just using the end of my rat tail comb just to smooth it out. So I do wait for each layer of glue to turn clear before I apply the next one. Right here, I was trying to make a TikTok. I was trying to record on my old phone, but I don't know, it was just blurry and I couldn't work it out. So I don't know, don't mind this part. This was my first time having curly hair in a while, so I'm not gonna lie, this hair was just going everywhere, so I did end up tying it back. But this is my second layer of glue, I believe. And I also kind of like letting my glue go back a little farther on my bald cap, just so I can have a lot of security. You don't have to OD on the glue, you guys. If you're doing 4 layers, you'll be good. Like, I see a lot of people put like a ton of glue between each layer. You don't have to do that. As long as you have smooth coverage and enough, like, you don't have to OD on the glue. Okay, so once that last layer dried, I'm going to pull the lace up a little bit in front of the glue because it's easier to cut extra lace off than to get just glue off your forehead. So if you have extra lace to cut off, go ahead and do it. So I'm just going to go in with the rest of the lace and pat it into the glue And I'm just going to take my rat tail comb and just make sure it's all combed in and all in the glue. And when you're doing this, make sure to work kind of quickly, like be patient with it, but also work quickly because this glue does dry kind of fast. So you don't want it to just dry while you're focusing on one side. You can also add the glue in sections so that you can just install one piece of the wig and then go to the other half of your head. I just personally like to do all of it at once. So then I'm going to go back in with my eyebrow razor and cut off those pieces that didn't get a lot of glue on it, and because I don't want any pieces just sticking up. So I'm just going to go around each side of my head and just find any pieces that need extra glue or don't have enough glue and cut them off. Then you'll see me going with a cotton swab, and it has a little bit of alcohol on it, and I'm going to go lightly across my hairline where I made those marks with the eyebrow pencil, and I'm just going to erase them with the alcohol. When you're doing this, be super careful because the alcohol will lift your lace up if it's too wet or if you're too close to your hairline. So now I'm just carving out my edges. When I do this, I like to go in like a C shape. So I go from the arch of my brow to about the tail of my brow. So then I'm just going to go in with my hot comb and hot comb my edges just to train them to go forward so they'll lay flatter. Be super careful when you're hot combing, guys. I had like so many scars on my face from just being too close to my scalp. So if you do this, use a lower temperature or just be really careful when you're close to your skin because you don't want to be like me and burn yourself. When I do my sideburns, I like to use like a diagonal part just because I like my sideburns to be a little bit thicker. So now that I have my edges parted out into my liking, I'm just going to go in with some spritz spray and spray all along my hairline, just so when I tie it down and leave it on, I get that ultimate effect. But I saw a few pieces that were kind of sticking up, so I'm just going to cut them off with scissors before I mold it down so I won't have any excess lace. So after I get all the pieces cut off, I'm just going to go in with my molding paper and tie that in a knot in the back. And I'm going to go over this with an elastic band. Now y'all, this elastic band has been through a lot and it looks a mess, but it still gets the job done, okay? So don't try to joke my elastic band, okay? As long as it melts the lace down, it's good. So I'm going to leave my elastic band on for about 5 to 10 minutes. Then I'll come back and take everything off. See how melted it is, y'all? It gets the job done, okay? It's really giving scalp. Next, I'm just combing out all the spray from my edges so I can get them ready for molding and when I cut them. So they were looking a little thick to me, so I just wanted to go in with my tweezers and kind of pluck out my edges, because you don't want to go walking around with thick edges. I am going for the fluffy edges today, but you don't want them too thick, okay? They're supposed to give baby hairs, not adult hairs that you pulled out. So I'm going to go back in with my eyebrow razor and I'm going to cut at a slant. So I'm cutting a little bit long right now just because I like longer baby hairs, but I'm going to go back in a little bit later and cut them a little bit shorter. It's better to cut them longer first than to cut them too short, because this hair won't grow back. If you cut it too short, you have to work with it. Rather than if you cut it too long, you can go back and customize it to your liking. So I'm curling my baby hairs under with a 1-inch flat iron I got from my beauty supply store. I think it's 1 inch. It looks a little big to me, but use a small flat iron. You can curl up or you can curl under. It really doesn't matter. But I'm doing this so that my baby hairs have form, so when I use the hairspray to mold them, they already have a form to be in. So now I'm using my hairspray. I forgot what it's called right now, but I'll definitely link it down below. And a trick to get these fluffy baby hairs, you guys, is to spray near the root of the hair, then comb in a C shape. And after you comb, put your fingers right over where you comb so that it stays in that form, and then comb under. With baby hairs, you definitely have to have a lot of patience. It takes a while to get it specifically how you want it. It definitely takes me a while, so just be patient. Just play with it until you get it how you want, and you'll be good. So just like the hot comb, you guys, this is like 450 degrees, so be really careful about how close you're going to your skin and how fast you're going. Just be really mindful so that you don't burn yourself, because it does not feel good, okay? Trust me from experience. And as you can tell, it does take some time. Like I said, don't be scared to start over. I just curled mine again, so just play with them until you get your look that you want. So I just finished up the other side of my baby hairs, and here are a few clips of the hair finished. Alright guys, so here's how the hair turned out. I hope you guys like it. I just hot combed it to the side and then wet it and put some of my Nairobi foaming lotion in. I'm almost out, so I need to get some more. But yeah, I just put that in there and just a little bit of leave-in conditioner and some water. Hot combed it to the side, and this is the finished look. It's about semi-dry right now. It's only wet at the bottoms a little bit, but yeah, this is how it turned out. I hope you guys enjoyed this look. So make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video.